Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Tara and I make videos about coloring for adults. So today I am doing something a little bit different. I saw versions of this video, excuse me, going around, excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. Going around, I think it started with Shell's Coloring. I'll put all the tags and stuff in the description box, but it is basically a coloring tag that has 23 questions on it. So I am going to go through all of these questions. These are all about coloring books that you own. The idea is that you're supposed to do this if you've been tagged. I haven't been tagged. I'm doing it anyway because I want to. I'm an adult, I'm allowed to do that. But I probably tag a couple people in the description box. If you guys want to do it, do it. If you don't. Like, whatevs. So, but I thought this was kind of fun, and it was a way for me to kind of go through my collection a little bit, think about some books, and maybe show some books that I think deserve a little bit more love in certain cases. I did try to pick books, because I'll link all of these books in the description box. For the most part, I tried to pick books that are readily available. However, there are a few books that are challenging to get. And when I get to those books, I'll talk about that. But so these are the 23 questions. I will put these questions in the description box, hopefully with tags. And if I'm feeling really fancy, I might even put like little title cards up with the questions. I don't know. We'll see how my mood is. But we are going to start with, oh, by the way, I love this little notebook. This was a custom made sleep token notebook that I found online. Anyway, so question one is the oldest book in my collection. The oldest book in my collection is this book. This is Creative Haven Cats by Marty Noble. I got this book as a gift. My dad bought this book for me as a joke, because my husband and I, we have taken care of feral cats in our neighborhood for years at this point, and he thought it was funny, like, because he called me like the crazy cat lady. So he got me this and like some cheap crowns or something, and I started coloring in it, and I actually was having a good time, and that's kind of what led to all of this. So this was the book that kind of started me on this like whole coloring journey. Now I will say, the first page I ever colored in here is not in here anymore. I actually tore it out, which I don't do anymore. The pages I color stay in my books, but I gave it to my dad, and all these years later, it's still on his fridge. But there is a page I have colored in here, and it is terrible. But it shows, practice, practice, practice. I still have a long way to go in coloring. I see things that other people do, and I am, in awe of that. And I'm still working on all of it, but this shows me, if I ever think that I haven't gotten better with coloring, I can look at this and go, yeah, I think I have. So this is obviously, like, if you've ever seen a Marty Noble book, she has a very, kind of like Art Nouveau-y kind of style. But like, I did this, and like, this is terror. This is not good. This is objectively not good. But I was trying to like learn how to like blend colors, and this was like my first experience with that, and this was like with Crayola pencils, I think. So yeah, so this is the oldest book in my collection. Will I ever color in this book again? I don't know. It's just not really my style, but I'll never get rid of it. One, because it was a gift from my dad, and two, because it is what started this whole coloring journey. I need to figure out a place to put these books. Okay, so question number 2 is the newest book I have bought, and I will have, before this video goes up, I should have a full flip through of this book on my channel. This is R.J. Hampson's Winter Wonder coloring book. I literally got it, I think, yesterday, so clearly have not had time to color in it. His books are always an auto buy for me. I love his art style. He is one of my favorite illustrators. I just think that they're absolutely precious. You will see another book from him in this video for another question. But yeah, so this is the newest book I bought. And I also recommend, he has a newsletter that he sends out every month. I highly recommend signing up for that newsletter. If I can find a link to it, I will include it in the description box. He always sends out like a free coloring sheet. You always get notification if a new book's going to come out the next month. So I really recommend signing up for his newsletter. Most colorful page I have completed. So one is in a book and one is not in a book. I used to buy pages off of Etsy and print them on not great paper and color them. This is a page called I Love Coloring by Daria Kakersoy. I did this years ago. I have been tempted to reprint this and color it again, just to see if I can do it better, because I'm pretty sure I can. But I really like the color palette in this. I had fun with it, and I had fun doing some distress ink stamps in the background. And I think I just printed this on like cardstock. So it did not want to take the pencil very well, though. That I did learn. But it was fun, and it is very colorful. As far as probably colorful in a book, and this might be stretching the terms of color, the Mythographic Avery book by Joseph Kattenbang. I love this book, but I did this page right here. So while, you know, the background's not super colorful, it's black basically. It does have some sparkle on it. I did try to, you know, do some color and whatnot. So it's colorful to me. I think it's colorful. Okay. Question number 4 is the most relaxing book to color in. For me, relaxing is what I call mindless coloring. So they are pages that I can do with pen, I can do with Sharpie, I can do while sitting in front of my computer doing other things. And right now, these 2 books are probably my favorite. This is Calm Coloring, Portable Relaxation. This is the Little Book of Calm Coloring, and the Little Book of More Calm Coloring by David Sinden and Victoria Kay. This one I believe that I ordered on Blackwell's, because this is obviously the UK version. This one I found on Amazon. There is a third one of these that I do plan on getting, that I have on Amazon. I have on like an Amazon wish list. I'm waiting for the price to go down. The price does fluctuate on these. The one that I got in the UK, it is a little bit smaller, if you can see that, but it is thicker. So like this is just like, you know, little patterns. I like to do these with Sharpies, pens, stuff like that. Those are like metallic pens. You know, it's just simple patterns. Where's the one? Like this was like acrylic pen, like acrylic paint pens. I think there's one in here that I did with some real like kind of neon pens. That was just marker, I think. I don't know if this was Sharpie or something else. But yeah, these I don't spend a lot of time on a page. I just pick some colors and go. And they're just, you know, it's relaxing to me. Question 5 is the most detailed / challenging book. Now, this is a book I actually have not colored in yet. And this book will also come up in another question later on. Oh, that was loud. This is Circle of Life by Melipomene Chattopadhyay. Yep. I think that this book is incredibly detailed. And because of that, I do find it very challenging. Trying to picture myself coloring in this. However, I feel like maybe once I start, it's not going to be as difficult as I think it is. But yes, I do think that this is a very detailed book. Hands down, this is a detailed book. I don't think anyone would look at this and go, yes, these are simple images. No, this is detailed. Like, look at all of that. Like up here, like in the page I actually marked, like that. I mean, all that tiny detail. Yeah. So beautiful book though. And one day I will get around to coloring in it. Okay. So the 6th question is most unique art style. I actually have a number of books picked for this. I was actually thinking about doing a video because I do have such a pretty large coloring book collection of artists that I think are different, they stand out, and maybe they don't get as much love as I think personally they should. If that's something that you'd be interested in seeing, let me know. But yeah, so I do have more than one. I have a number of books for this. The first one is this is a pick with a caveat. This is Serenaya by Christina McAllister. The caveat on this is the only book I have seen by this illustrator that looks like this. Her other books have a distinctively different art style. Still a very unique art style, but it doesn't look like this. So if you order like 10 of her books, she's got a number of books that they're all going to have this kind of look to them. They're not going to. This is the only book of hers I own. I have looked at some of the other ones, but I haven't purchased them. So I did this, which is literally the cover image, and I just tried to match it. And I just did this with alcohol markers. But I think these are really pretty. Very unique. I have a couple pages marked as I want to color. And I think that markers work great in this. I think I started on that, but didn't get very far. I didn't like the marker I used for the skin. Some of these, if you ever played World of Warcraft, some of these characters remind me of Draenei. If you have never played World of Warcraft, that will mean absolutely nothing to you. But if you have, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I just think these are, unique. So I think this is gorgeous. So definitely, I think this fits the prompt of most unique art style. And that's Christina McAllister. Another for unique art style is Carla Magana. So I actually pulled two books. One is A Coloring Heaven, because of this I've actually colored in. This one I have not colored in. So to show an image that I've actually colored would be this. I think she has a very, very distinct style. I think when you look at it, even though there's a number of artists that do these these portraits of girls with kind of like big eyes, I think her style is hers. Like if you've seen her stuff and you see, images that she's done, you know that they're hers. Like, it's just these kind of like pinup, goth, but colorful, Vegas showgirl. I don't really even know how to describe these. But I love her images. I think that she is really fun to color. She works great with markers and lots of glitter, acrylic, stuff like that. So very cute. Another artist that I think is unique is White Stag. White Stag I don't know if they're still putting out coloring books. They have an Etsy where they sell like a lot of stationery items. I actually have a number of their stickers. I don't know why I'm looking around like they're on this desk, because they're not. But I really love their stuff for in my journal. But I like their art style. This is their unicorn book. This is an older book. This is from 2016. So this book's almost 10 years old. But again, a very unique style. Very goth, kind of dark, but definitely unique. This is the unicorn one. I do have another one which I didn't pull that is not just unicorns. It's more like these girls. The last one for unique art style would be Karolina Kubikowska. I absolutely love her art style. She is one of my favorite artists, not just illustrators, artists. I think her stuff is absolutely gorgeous. This is her Circle of Nature coloring book. I have a number of her books, and I'm really wanting to get back to them because this is the only one I've colored in. This is a nice little size book too. So I did this one with Albrecht Dürer pencils and some gold accents. I did this for a palette challenge. So I think I only used, besides the skin tone, I think I only used 3 colors in this. But I was actually really happy with how it turned out, using, only those couple colors. But she does. She has a very, very unique style. This is some of the ones that, obviously, her illustrations are just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful works of art. Her style is definitely not for everyone. It does lean more towards like the macabre, the creepy, lots of things that have 3 eyes, which obviously isn't for everyone. But I think they're absolutely beautiful. And I think that this is a book that is deceptive in how difficult it looks, because this looks like it would be hard to color, but it's really not, because there's so much shading already in. You really know kind of, I think, where to put, your shading, your highlights, all of that. Yep. Beautiful book. Beautiful artist. She has an Etsy as well. Any of these artists that have Etsy's or, whatever I can find, I will post those in the description box as well. So the 7th question is book I've colored in the most. Now, these aren't like super exciting books. I mean, I guess it's, depends. So probably is this. This is, oh, there's a sticky note on that. This is Floating Mandalas 3D by Tabitha Barnett. This is, if you like mandalas, this is a great book. The reason that I've colored in this so much is I was doing, for quite a while, I was doing Amanda Colors. She did like a Disney mandala challenge every month, and I was doing those, and then life happened and I stopped doing that. I want to get back to doing that though. Cause like I even have like stickers. So like this one was the Winnie the Pooh one. And so you color the mandala in the shades of the character. Some of these obviously I think turned out better than others. So there's like, so this was like July 2024. So I think this might've been August or September. And that was the last one I did. But there's Pinocchio, Minnie, which, this was Ariel the Little Mermaid. This was before I got the stickers. This was Flower from Bambi. I wasn't happy with that one. Bing Bong, Tigger. I hated this one. The way mine turned out, which was Ursula, Sully, Joy from Inside Out. So yeah, I've done a number in there, and I do plan on going back to that. Another book that I've colored quite a bit in is this pocket book by Hannah Lynn, The Enchanted Faces. It says Mermaids, Fairies, and Fantasy pocket-sized coloring book. I really like her pocket books. I like her pocket-sized books, and then I like her artist books. So like there's, yeah, different ends of the spectrum there. But these are fun to color. This one I did in pencil. Sometimes like these are just like marker. These are just, I hated how this one turned out. The markers, these were new markers that I don't think I have anymore. They bled terribly. Some of these were pretty early. I've had this book for a really long time. It was me, with the sparkle. But yeah, so I've colored a number of pages in that one. This is a book that I wanted to finish, but haven't done that yet. Book that I love that I haven't colored in yet. I could have probably picked 30 books for this, but I limited myself to one. Which is, like I said, I was going to pick books that are easy to find. This book, I mean, it's relatively easy to find. You can get it on Lyrica, I do believe. Should still be available. This is Petites Sorcières. It is a French book by Jean-Luc Guérin. Absolutely adorable images. I love, love, love the art style in this book. It reminds me of like a Pixar cartoon or something like that. So very cute. That would be a good one to color for next month for Christmas. Maybe I should mark that. Finally get around to coloring in this book. But yeah, I really, really like this book. Different style of characters. This is Terry Pratchett's Witches, which Terry Pratchett, if you don't know, is an author. wrote a gazillion books. Amazing author. Some good ones in here for Halloween. Yeah, so very cute book. One of these days I'll get around to coloring in that book. Let me check something real quick. Okay, so the next question is a book I would save in a fire. This book is gonna come up later as well. This is Forest Girls coloring book. I don't think I saved the title. I had a little sticky note in here for a long time showing what the translated title was. This is an absolutely gorgeous book. But the reason that I would save this has not as much to do with the content as how I acquired this book. If you've watched my videos for a while, you know that last year my mother passed away. I was incredibly close to my mother. This was the last book my mom ever bought me. She was a huge proponent of my coloring hobby. She loved seeing what I did. She loved buying me stuff for it. And so this was the last book that she got me. And because of that, I will never get rid of this book. And this book is incredibly sentimental to me. And you will see this book come up in another question. But it is absolutely gorgeous. This book also would have worked for the for the question that's coming up. But beautiful. And April, who is the illustrator artist for this, she does these like examples on this side with her finished work, which I believe is in watercolor. But absolutely beautiful. And the paper in this book is ridiculously thick. Like, this is some of the nicest paper. Beautiful book. Even if I do plan on coloring in this book, but even if I never color in this book, I will never get rid of this book. So that would be my book I would save in a fire. Question 10, book with the best paper quality. I picked a couple different books for this because I think paper quality depends on what medium you're using. So for markers, I think Mika Jelena has amazing books. I'm gonna move this because I'm sure that's glaring terribly. These books are available on her Etsy. They have, if you're in the United States, I believe she does free shipping, or at least she used to, and I think are $28. But they're beautiful books, especially for markers. So this page that I did mainly in markers. I did some shading with pencil, but I based everything in marker. And yeah, marker worked really, really well on this paper. But pencil also worked decently well, but I found that it worked better over stuff. But yeah, so these are great for marker and pencil, but yeah. Her images, this is hard to flip because of the way that it looks. She's got grayscale and line art, which I like because I prefer grayscale, but like with this, like you'll notice like this one doesn't have the line art to go with it because I practiced some stuff on it and then got rid of it. So I like to use the line art in these as like a practice page, and then I use the grayscale for the finished page. So this was her, I didn't even say which book this was. This was Mika's Mannequins Coloring Book 3. She has a number of them. I have, goodness gracious, I think I have 8 books by her. I just love her stuff. And she's located like a state over from me. So whenever I order these on her Etsy, I get them pretty quickly. Also for book with the best paper quality for pencils, I think that Christine Caron's, not her Amazon printed books, but these like really nice books that are printed, I think they were printed by Blue Angel, or is Blue Angel the, yeah, this is Blue Angel. So these are printed by Blue Angel. These have gorgeous paper in them. I did, oh, that's a whip. One day I'll come back to you, Paige. Where is my page I actually did in here? Oh, here we go. The troll. I think I did this in polychromos. But yeah, I thought pencil took really well on this paper. So very quality paper. Okay. I also think that, so book with the best paper quality. Is there any other one I would say? I would say that I think affordable wise, Johanna Basford's books also have really nice paper in them, and they're pretty affordable and obviously very easy to find. You can find these, like you can walk into a Target or Walmart and you should see these on the shelf. So these have nice paper as well. So favorite grayscale coloring book. I picked a couple for these because grayscale is my preferred style. I prefer grayscale portraits. That's my absolute favorite thing to color. And of course I picked a book that is impossible to find, but I did want to share it because it's what is my favorite, and this is my favorite. This is Anastasia Koldareva's Mysteria book. I have a number of her books. I did not buy her latest book, and just because the shipping cost was so high, and oh, I kind of regret not buying it though. Eventually one day I'll buy it. But her stuff, her images are just so beautiful. So this one is one I finished. This was, I mean, this is 2 years old at this point. But I think her grayscale is lovely. There is some other books in here that I would say I think are absolutely gorgeous grayscale. And when I get to them, I'll mention them, but they are books I haven't colored in yet. So I didn't necessarily want to say them. I don't know. So that's one of them. And then one that's easy to find, because it's Amazon printed, is Daria Kakersoy. This is her Fantasy and Fairy Cuties coloring book number 8. I have most of her books, I think, in grayscale. And I love her images. I think they're so cute. So this, I just really like the way that her grayscale is done. Somewhere in here, there's a page I've done. Will I get to it anytime soon? Oh, I already passed it, that's why. Oh, here we go. I can't remember. I think I used Prismacolors and Polychromos on this. And then some sparkly accents, because the page isn't done until I add some glitter. But I love her grayscale. Very cute. I really like that one. God, I should have colored that this month. So I don't mind coloring on Amazon paper, and this is like the higher Amazon paper for what that's worth. It doesn't bother me that much, but if you really like her images and you don't want to color on this paper, you hate this paper, she does have an Etsy store, so you could buy the printable images, which is what I did with this, or you could buy the book and scan it, I guess, and print it on better paper. I just deal with this paper. So, okay. Book that intimidates me. First one would be this one. I have like 4 Camilla de Erico books in, and I have not colored in any of them. Because I love her images, I do, but I have like an idea of what I want them to look like, and I'm not sure how to get there just yet. I really think that her stuff works really nicely with watercolor, So I'm trying to improve my watercolor ability. This is one of those I just need to like just suck it up and do a page and just deal with it. I also think that these could work well with markers, but they're double-sided. So I am very intimidated to color in these books of hers that I have. The other one that I would say that I'm intimidated by that I showed earlier was the, of course I didn't set it where I could easily get to it. That was smart of me. Was the Circle of Life book. I'm intimidated by that. And I'm also very intimidated. Why is this not working? This pile is not wanting to cooperate with me. I guess if I wanted to use a book again, I shouldn't have buried it underneath a bunch of other books. This book also intimidates me. There's lots of open spaces. It is very intimidating. So the next question, which also works for this, is question 13, which is a book that I want to finish one day. So I would very much like to finish this book. I very much would like to go back to doing the Disney mandalas and finish this book. Is there another book that, I would like to finish this book, which is The Knights of Tay Realm by Aleph Vernon. I've only done one page in here so far. I'm getting ready to start on another page, but I thought I did something else in here, but maybe I didn't. But yeah, I eventually want to finish this book as well. So those are books that I would like to finish. Best book for practicing new techniques. Okay, this one's kind of a little weird because again, I think it depends on what techniques you're wanting to do. I will say that I think that Joanna Basford's books, when I was trying to figure out how to color flowers, her Secret Garden book was great for that. Now, I no longer have the Secret Garden book because I'm not a huge fan of coloring flowers, but I do have this one. So I think that these are great books. Her books are great for learning, blending, shading, stuff like that. So I think that these are great books for that. They're also great for trying out different mediums because the paper is relatively nice. I have a book that is probably, people are going to, clutch their pearls that this is what I use this book for. This is the Seasons postcard book by Hannah Karlzon. I honestly don't even know if you can get this book anymore. If I can find it, I'll link it. But I only have one page in here that I do this with. So this is not, I'm not using this as just a random book. It's this page right here. I've started, and this has been relatively recently, when I get a new product that I'm not really sure about, I will just test it a little bit on one of these. This was like a watercolor pencil. These were some watercolor markers, which I hated and returned. This was, I don't even remember what that was. Something glittery though. So I just do like a little bit on this one page. And the reason is because this paper is so thick that it can take water and it can take, glitter and stuff like that. So am I going to do that? Is this what this whole book is for? No. I do think that this is a good representation of the fact that if you can find like a smaller book, like a postcard book, or, like small victories, sticking with Johanna Basford, or like these Hannah Karlzon books, these Enchanted Faces books, these can be really, really good for trying out, new hair techniques, new product, new materials. And because these are Amazon printed, if you buy a lot of Amazon books, some pencils, markers, whatever, are going to work better in a higher quality book than they are in these. And then some pencils work great in these Amazon printed books. So I think that it's nice to have something with a little higher quality of paper and then something with a more basic version, if that makes sense. Because, you can test something in here and maybe it will look great on this really, really nice paper that takes watercolor. and then you go over to an Amazon book, and guess what? It's not going to work because this paper is, you know, so thin. So yeah, so that's kind of a, you know, a little odd answer to that, I guess, but that's my answer. Okay, 15, most affordable but great quality. Johanna Basford. I think her books, they're, you know, they have nice paper, beautiful images. They are double-sided, which isn't my favorite thing in the world. And while when they first get launched, they tend to be maybe a little pricier, the prices do tend to go down. They're also books that you can find when Amazon or Target does their buy two get one sale. So sometimes you can get like a good deal on them. So yeah, I really think that these are good. I cannot find, there's the page I did. I think that these are an affordable book with a high quality of paper and images, if that makes sense. I love this. This is one of my favorite pages I've ever colored. I'm a big fan of flamingos. So, I also think, let's see, affordable but great quality. I think mythographic books, they're buried at the bottom of my pile here, so I'm not going to pull one just yet, but mythographic books are also great. They have really good paper in them. And again, when they first launch, they are a bit pricey, but if you wait, they will go down in price, and they often are prone to show up on Book Outlet. So if you wait even longer, you can wait for them to show up on Book Outlet for a really good price. And those are a great book that is affordable and a great quality. So a book that I would recommend for beginners. I think that Camellia Angelkova's books are really, really great when you're first starting out. They are Amazon printed, but they're relatively inexpensive. They have very cute images. They have, this is the only one I pulled. This is the, 50 Halloween miniatures. They're really fun to use with markers, but you can also use pencils. I think that these are great when you are starting out. I used to buy all of these books. I don't buy them anymore unless it is the subject matter really, really speaks to me. I think the last one I bought was the Cloud one. But I do think these are really awesome books when you are just starting out coloring and trying to learn how to color, and you know, you're just beginning your coloring journey. I think these are great. Again, I'll go back to a Johanna Basford book because I think that they're great for learning shading and all of that jazz. And you know, they're easy to find, because that's another thing. If you're just starting out, you want a book that you don't want to have to hunt for. I also actually think that Kirby Rosanna's books are more beginner friendly than what they initially look like they would be, because you see all these lines and you think this is very, very intimidating, and it does. When I first started coloring in these, I thought, oh, I don't know if I can color in this, but because of the way he does the way he does these lines, it's very much like a version of grayscale. It's going to show you where to put stuff. And I think that that is great for when you're starting out. The page I did in here, where is this at? I did this with just ink tints. And this took the ink tints really well. It took the water really well. Unfortunately, I had a very limited color palette of ink tints when I did this. So it doesn't have maybe some of the depth that I would have liked in like the skull. I'm not happy with that skull, but whatever. This was like the first time, this was the second time I ever used ink tints. You'll see the first time, yeah. Anyway, I think that his books are, again, way more beginner friendly than they look. They're also easy to find. Some of his books you can find at like a Walmart or a Target. He does have like, you know, kind of different genres of books, and he has so many like collections. I mean, he just came out with the 10-year celebration book, which would be a good one to get. If you prefer animals, you know, he has the Fragile World one. If you like weird alien stuff, he has the Alien Worlds. I really like the Mythomorphia one, which has like I liked that one because it has Medusa in it, which I did the Medusa page. And then I really like the Mythic World. And one of the fun things about this one, this Mythic World, is it actually tells you, there's like a little bit about each picture as to what myth it is. So I feel like there's some variety there. Now, some of his earlier books, they have more doodles in them, which I'm not a fan of. I would definitely maybe lean more towards like this or Worlds Within Worlds, Fragile World. Even the Dark Fairy Tales book, if you like, you know, kind of that more gothic style. Okay, so books that spark your creativity. I did not pull any in particular for this because I think that it really depends. It depends on what I'm in the mood to color. I really like mythographic books. I think that mythographic books, you'll see them show up like here. I'm just gonna pull one, even though it's technically for another prompt. I think that there's so much variety in them, and I see them and I'm like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. I could add, you know, some, you know, special finishes. It gets my brain kind of moving as far as what can be done on a page. So I think mythographic books are great for that. I think that for me, because I love coloring portraits so much, anything by Mariella Budick, Daria Kakersoy, Karolina Kubikowska, Anastasia Koldareva, any of those I feel inspired by, if that makes sense. So, okay, next question. 18, most nostalgic or childhood inspired. So again, this is going to change completely on when you were a child or, you know, what is nostalgic for you. So I was born in 1980. I was a kid in the 80s. I was a preteen and teen in the 90s. I am very nostalgic for the 90s. I loved growing up in the 90s. I think it was one of the best times ever to grow up. I can't imagine growing up. I think I was born at just the right time. You know, some people say like, oh, I think I was born in the wrong era. I should have been born in 1980, and I was born in 1980. So this, and I have not colored in this, this is I Love the 90s, the 1990s coloring book, and it is printed by Lightburst Media. I think this is I don't know if this is an older book, but it's 2016. So not like, again, none of these books that I'm showing you should be AI. I try very hard not to buy AI books. If I do buy them, I do not buy them with the knowledge that they're AI. This one predates AI, so definitely not AI. Very fun images that fill me with, you know, memories of when I was a teenager. So very fun. I really like, let me find the one that I marked. I like the ones that show like the rooms. That's fun. Yeah, that gives me like real throwback vibes. I didn't pull it, but for other childhood nostalgia, I do have a Strawberry Shortcake book, which reminds me of the 80s, but I wanted to specifically pull this one because this is a book that I have not seen people post about or talk about. And this company, Lightburst, they actually have, does it say in the back here? Yeah, so they have a Back to the 80s, which I do have. I should have pulled that one. They have a Back to the 80s. They have a 70s one. They also, I think, have a 60s and a 50s one. But I, of course, wanted the 90s one. And I will one day color in it. I love this. The Furby. Yeah, my best friend had a Furby. That thing was possessed, I swear. Yeah, so I love this. I think this is so cute. So yeah, that is nostalgia. Book with the most variety of pages. Those are always going to be mythographic books, I think, for the most part. Because mythographic is a series, but they have different themes and they have different artists. I think if you get a couple of mythographic books from maybe some different artists, some different themes, like you've got some variety going on there. But I think there's also variety to be found in just the individual books. So like this one, this is Voyage, which is by Joseph Kattenbang. Cut and Bang. Yeah, I think it's Cut and Bang. So like I did this one in here. I was relatively happy with how that turned out. I was happy with my gold. So yeah, I think that there's people to color, there's flowers, there's animals, water, sky, lots of different things in here. And then I also had pulled the Cosmic Spirit one, which I did this in here. That was with marker, pencil, some paint, some pan pastel, glossy accents. Yeah, so again, people, sky, lots of variety. Pick the one that you think, if you're interested in them, pick the one that you think you're going to be the most interested in subject-wise, and, I think you'll find something in there. Okay, 20, a seasonal favorite. I think right now, because we're coming up on the Christmas season, I think that Hannah Karlzon's Merry Christmas book is a great one. It's a little bit smaller. It's not, this is like more in keeping with the books she's been putting out as opposed to her old books. So there's, this is very Christmas, winter oriented. She also has, and I don't know why I didn't grab it, Seasons, which has, the different seasons in it. So you have, let's see if I can, so like spring, I guess, winter, autumn, Christmassy. It's more, Christmas as well, or winter, I guess. Spring, summer, maybe. You can see the size difference in her old books and her new books. One that is more like, it's an Amazon printed, just kind of like a fun little Halloween book, is Alexandra Francise's Spooky Vibes. She has a number of seasonal books. She's got a lot of Halloween ones. She's got some Christmas ones too. I really like this one. Her images are really cute. Really cute. And she does like a very light grayscale, like edging on hers. I swear there's a page I've done in this book. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Some glaze pen on there. Of course, it was going to be the bat page that I did. But yeah, so, these are fun, marker, easy to do. Her books, I think, do come in 2 different sizes. She has like a travel one, and then she has these regular size. I prefer these. Usually I prefer a mini book, but her travel size books are a little bit bigger than like the pocket books. And so I prefer this size. Okay, we're almost to the end, guys. 21, most whimsical or fun book. I've got a couple for this. Keeping with Alexandra Francis, I think any of her books are very whimsical. This is her Fairy Chibis one. I did the cover. I tried to kind of match it up a little bit, kind of. Yeah, she's got like to me, it's a very distinct kind of art style. Very whimsical, very fun, very cute. Also, I think Rita Berman's books kind of fit that whimsical, definition. I really like her journey one. So that's like the walkthrough or whatever they're called. So it's like Europe, Asia, Africa. Okay, I think that's it for those. I do have a page in here I've done. I did the London page. London's one of my favorite cities in the world. I went on my honeymoon there, and I long to go back. But I used, what pencils did I use? I used some like white label pencils on this, and they were okay. But yeah, I love her art style. It's very, very cute. Very whimsical. And then to me, the king of whimsy is R.J. Hampson. And my favorite book by him is The Mr. Fogarty, A Frog's Tale. This was an example of, I tried to do, I think I did Neocolor in the background, and this did not take this Neocolor. It would not dissolve at all. It might have been user error. It was like the first time I ever used Neocolor. This is a really old page I did. But yeah, I love his style. Love, love, love. As I said at the beginning of this, he's an auto buy for me. And I think that he is like definition of whimsy. So the next one is, it says most realistic or nature inspired book. So I wasn't positive whether to take that as like truly like, or, so like, what is the most realistic book I own? Or what is a nature inspired book I own? Or are they wanting the most realistic nature book? Well, I don't really have any realistic nature books. I don't have that many nature books at all. I learned very early on, I don't really enjoy coloring flowers. I prefer coloring people. But I do have, like, for nature, I did pull this book, which is a Stratton Peterson book, Nature's Magic. I have yet to color in it, but it's nature. And they're not, you know, they're a little more, I guess, realistic than like cartoony, I'd want to say. So, I mean, cute images, and you could use marker if you wanted to, because, I mean, there's words on the other side, so you could probably sacrifice those. But for, oh, excuse me, I'm yawning. Why am I tired? I don't know. For most realistic, Mariola Budick. For all the, she would also work for favorite grayscale coloring book. Her grayscale images are some of my favorite. Unfortunately, I can't show you the ones I've done because they're on the wall. I mean, I guess I could post a picture. I don't know. Anyway, the pages I've done from her, I have one hanging in my coloring room and the other one is hanging in my parents' house. But she, like, to me, the way that she captures faces and hair, hands down, completely realistic, just absolutely gorgeous. This book, now the way these books work is you're supposed to take this like slide thing off and then they become loose pages. You're not necessarily supposed to, you can't bend it like that in color. So, but I'm not going to take that apart because I don't feel like messing with it, trying to get it back together. I will say that right now she is not shipping to the United States. I think because she's in Poland, and I think Poland, like the mail service in Poland shut off shipping to the United States and has not turned it back on again because of all the tariff stuff. Now she does offer PDFs on her site, but the paper that she prints these images on is amazing paper, just amazing. So I really hope that she's not in control of the Poland Postal Service or the United States Customs Office, but hopefully everything gets fixed at some point and she can start shipping to the United States again, because just gorgeous. Like, if you love coloring portraits, if you love grayscale, this is the artist. This, hands down, she is the artist. And, you know, she also has flowers. It's like one of the only times I'll color flowers. Okay. Last question. Book I have ignored the longest. There could be a lot on this list. I am a notoriously slow colorist. When we were kind of going through everything with my mom, I wasn't coloring as often as I would have liked because, you know, adult responsibility and whatnot. So there are a lot of books on my shelf that have not been touched. Doesn't mean they'll never be touched though. Eventually I'll get around to them. But for a book that I've ignored the longest, it would be this one. This is Hannah Karlzon's Grains of Gold. I think this was like maybe the third or fourth book I ever bought. I think the second book, so the first book I ever got was the first book in this video. Second book that I ever got was Johanna Basford's Secret Garden, which I no longer have. I parted with that book. I did color in that book. It is a great book to learn how to do stuff in. And there's a lot of really good tutorials for that book also on YouTube. I just blanked on freaking YouTube. And then I don't remember, the third book was probably like an Amazon printed book, maybe a Camellia Angel Cova. But then I bought this, and this was like one of the first like really nice, like fancy books that I bought. And I have yet to color in it. I'll eventually do it because I love Hannah Karlzon's images. I really like this. Because this is very, like the face in this, I feel is kind of different to the face in some of her other images. Because she does more like this now, and that seems a little bit different. Anyway, yeah, so I love this book. I have all of Hannah Karlzon's books except the Halloween book because iMusic just did not want to send it to me. It's neither here nor there. But she's also an auto buy for me, just because I love her images. I love her art style. And eventually I'll get around to it, guys. So yeah, so that was 23 questions. Like I said, I will try to put those questions in the box below. If I'm feeling fancy, I'll put up title cards. I probably could have made this video longer, more detailed, but I didn't want to. I think it probably already dragged on long enough. And this is the third video I've recorded today. My voice hurts. Yeah, let me know if you would be interested in a video where I show books from artists that I think maybe are unique, could get more attention, get more love. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. I'd be interested in doing that video, but if nobody's gonna watch it, then what's the point? I guess, you know, creating for creating's sake. So anyway, so that is it, guys. If you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like it. If you like my content, please subscribe. As I say every single time, it helps the mysterious algorithm do its mysterious things. I will, like I said, I'll put links for all of these items that I can find in the description box below. Just for transparency's sake, I will say, if a link is an Amazon link, it is an affiliate link. All that means is if you buy something through that link, Amazon gives me a very small, I do stress very small, percentage of that sale back as, in my case, it comes to me as Amazon credit, and anything I make off this channel goes right back into the channel. So people like hauls, and it's a way for me to buy stuff. So yeah, it doesn't change anything on your end though. It doesn't change the price, whatever. So yeah, so that is it. I hope that you found this fun or interesting. If you like to do this tag, feel free to do it. This would be a great, you know, if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, this tag would be like a great way to start because it, you know, it gives you kind of like, you know, step by step of what you're doing. So yeah. So yeah, that's it. Everybody have a great weekend. If I get this up early enough, if not, great week. Thank you for watching.